Copa America and the Euros. We are about to get to, or we are at the stage where the boys have been separated from the men. Now, talking about men, we sent him on loan. This loan was longer than it normally would be, but hopefully he performed well during the loan, but then he's back to his home club. Sam Adeyemi, it's great to have you. You're welcome back.
Good morning, Mike, and good morning to you, and to our viewers. It's always beautiful to be here.
Definitely.
And just like the beautiful game.
Yes, it's the beautiful game. And then, when talking about this, it's always something we look forward to every single time. And I'm happy to be back home.
Definitely.
The loan was a good one, I can tell you that.
It's sure for you, Baba. It's sure for you. All right, tell us your followers. It's great to have you. Good morning. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Always coming here to talk football. And welcome back to the club.
All right, wonderful. There's a whole lot that we have to discuss, but one thing that has taken the major space in football, the rivalry between, for a while it died off. It's always there. Messi, Ronaldo would always be maybe one of the greatest discussions of all time. People will still be going back and forth. But because of both of them are in different competitions at different times, and almost similar things happen to both of them.
Yeah.
They miss penalties at different points, in different scenarios, different circumstances. The debate came back, full force. People have been going at themselves. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. Who's the better player? Who's the more mature player? Who can we give more? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Portugal are out. Yeah. Argentina are defending champions, and they're still the Copa is still there for the taking. But that has waged on mainly because of the penalties. Lionel Messi missed a penalty. A Panenka, beautiful effort by the way, that went off the crossbar. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo missed a penalty. Now,
started crying.
Yes, I started crying.
No, that's childish, man.
So let's start from there. I know a number of, the discourse has been divided amongst Messi fans. So a lot of people who are Cristiano Ronaldo fans are looking for excuses to talk about how, Cristiano Ronaldo is passionate. But now let's be objective as possible. Portugal were, as at that particular stage, they were still in the game. Now, this is, of course, prior to the match against France, which is our focus today. But they were still in the game, right? Yeah. It was extra time. Penalty. Cristiano Ronaldo misses the penalty. Captain of the team, and he starts crying.
Against Slovakia, I guess.
Against Slovakia, and then starts crying.
It's so sad to see a player of his caliber do this kind of thing. I call it immaturity, because if you're a player of this high standard, you shouldn't cry. Because, okay, number one, you're the captain of the team. The signal you're sending to your team is that, I don't finish. It is not good enough for you to have a leader. Imagine Ahmed Musa taking a penalty in the, taking a penalty in the 17th minute or maybe any time in the game, and then he loses the penalty, starts crying. You're basically sending a wrong signal to every of the players. In my opinion, you're sending a signal to another person, and then two, it shows he has a weak mentality that if he misses an in-game goal, like a Yakubu kind of stuff, would he cry? No. But he felt like, I don't miss penalty, they will come for me. So, that's the thing.
Is this being objective?
Okay, he knows they will come for him. But
so it's not a case of passion?
It is not passion. Passion will not make you cry. You're just being a coward for crying.
What?
I'm going to say it.
Sam, let's hear from you.
Cristiano is one of the greatest players, and to a lot of people, he's the greatest to have ever played the game.
Yes.
But that attitude that he showed in that match, that's not for any footballer. Any footballer, not even if we're talking about Cristiano, any footballer to do that mid-game, 15 minutes more to play, you lost a penalty, and you started crying.
Yes, because you cry is a rallying call.
Like I said,
you have demoralized me if you cry, to be honest.
I understand, but like I was saying this is for any player. This is not whether you even is Cristiano. You cannot do that. Because what are you passing to your fellow players? They are 10 more. And then you are now the captain, the second oldest player in the team, behind Pepe. Yes, excuses will come that, Pepe cried yesterday, but that was after the match. Anyone can remember Thiago Silva crying when Brazil lost. That was probably his downfall. The captain armband has to be taken from him.
He lost it.
Because there are things you don't do.
If you're talking about Thiago Silva, one of the major reasons was given that during the time for the penalty shootout, Baba said he wasn't. The coach told him to take the penalty. He said no. In fact, he wouldn't even watch the penalty. And he was shaking during the penalty. And the coach said, I can't have my captain.
You remember the 7-1 loss to Germany? So, when you're a captain, you show that other responsibility. You don't cry. You show them that, okay, you're more like a parent to them on the pitch.
And to be fair,
you don't show them that you are
this is not the first time Cristiano will be doing this. He did it in Qatar. Remember when they lost to Morocco? He practically was throwing tantrums and left every other player on the pitch walk into the dressing room. When you were the captain,
you can still say.
So sometimes I feel
okay,
he wants to
that
up
is
the
part of
headline.
the,
And
after
this
the
is,
game.
It's taking nothing away from his legendary status in the game. But then he always wants to be in the headline. And I think that was the reason he was crying for that game. He would have loved to score that goal. And then they beat by 2-1, and then his name would be there, and not the goal poster who now became the hero.
Are you saying the headline? Just the headline.
His mother was also crying.
Because
this could have been
he transferred that.
He missed the opportunity.
Hold on. All of you want to kill Cristiano Ronaldo. Look, the mother, these are Ribeiro, they're the Portuguese. These people, they are passion sometimes.
My God.
Don't be passion making him cry. He knows what he missed. You know what he missed?
Yeah?
He missed the chance to become the oldest goal scorer
And that
in
is
history of
it.
Euros.
That is what he's looking for.
Wait, that's one. Two, he missed the chance to become the highest goal scorer of the Euros all time. So those two records are something he would have to wait for the next 4 years.
Okay, you know what happens?
They are personal.
Some people now, we are going to get to Messi and the Copa because this is Messi also missed too. We'll get to Messi. But you know what happens now? Let's take your comments on WhatsApp. We cannot receive phone calls yet. 0802 0815247. Investor says he was not crying because he lost PK. He was crying because he failed them. Can you say he failed them when there were 15 more minutes to play in the match? And Portugal were not like Portugal were. If Portugal were one goal behind and he needed to equalize, you can say. But
that statement so, people saying should now be said to Jan Felix, who could not convert his.
Okay, that's for the France
match. Yes. So basically, you can't say Ronaldo failed them. He missed an opportunity to score for them. Period. It happened. Okay, how many players? Some players missed tap-ins in that game. Why didn't they crucify him? Why didn't they cry? But he missed a penalty. A penalty is just a game. Okay, he played it well now.
Tayo, just like you said.
Wilson says, good morning, gentlemen. If I recall correctly, Diego Armando Maradona lost the penalty during the quarterfinals against Yugoslavia. He cried. When he scored one of the penalties against Italy, he rejoiced as though he scored the winning penalty. This is from Chesson.
No, the penalty is talking about might be
Italian
post,
90, yeah.
might be post the game, not
Italian 90, of course. It's Italian 90.
So what me I would say is, see, he did not do Portugal any harm in that game. You still had 15 minutes, and it's not like he blasted the ball into the roof, into the stands. The keeper saved it. It was a well-taken penalty. Praise Oblak for saving the penalty. You did your best. Stop crying. If to say him do like Messi, when play point to net, that's a different
made
thing.
It personal, and that's just all of us can shoot and agree on. Made it a personal thing.
He made it, and I think one of the biggest things is this. Think about it, and this is me just putting it out there. I'm not saying I am for it or against it or Ronaldo or non-Ronaldo, but the thing is, he's a captain. He's the most decorated player ever of that nation. He missed a penalty. Now think about it, you're a young player, and you see that icon crying. What's going through your mind?
I don't finish.
As a young player, you've not even lost, you're not even lost, and then you see your icon, your captain. Think about Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira. If the player is too sullen, they hit him up. Stop, move back. You know, there is something expected.
Get that ginger again, you know.
And I think that football has gone very soft.
You have to massage people's ego this time.
Football has gone very soft. Football has lost flair. Because, I mean, for an R9 to say he'd rather play golf, and this is not jokes. Think about it. I'm telling you, Vieira and Roy Keane in a match.
You just said something.
Your captains.
You just said something.
You understand what I'm saying? And
I support it with Mourinho. He said, I think when that Champions League final, we were asking him what are the mistakes he has made. He said, these days, some players, those players, you don't even...
Jala from Jos says, there has never been any competition or comparison between Messi and Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo that is creating the argument. No, and the media are taking it as a topic. Messi has never called out Ronaldo for things like that. Secondly, Ronaldo is concerned about his personal records. Good morning, guys. He didn't cry because he lost the penalty. He cried because he knew people would call for him on social media. That's Adekunle. Good morning, gentlemen. Well, in my opinion, Ronaldo is childish. He cries at every chance he has missed. This is not about passion. He should be a man and a leader that he is. Even Lamar won't cry if he misses a penalty.
Man, they cry.
Please, whenever you give a message, give us your name so that we can rightfully acknowledge you. This is Becky Kajo from Lafia. Wow. Lafia says, Ronaldo crying was not cowardice. He was being emotional. Why? He went there with expectations and they were not happening. It's natural to feel frustrated and emotional. Thank you.
Crying when you could have still made an opportunity again.
Thank you, Becky.
It was still 15 minutes.
Thank you, Mick. My name is Utman. Utman said, see his face.
Yeah, let's go.
Mama was very, very nice one there. Thank you, my producer. Says, ability to handle situation differs. The way you respond to things or matter is different from mine. I agree.
Exactly.
But you see, there is an
Ronaldo.
expectation of leadership.
They will lead. That's
and,
it.
and look, let me tell you, anywhere you go, we have a people problem in Nigeria, but the only way we can solve Nigeria's problems is leadership. And leadership is expected. See, leadership, you're expected to lead from the front. The man that goes and says, hey, come on, follow me. There are expectations of leadership. And when it comes to those expectations, look, they are not subjective.
Yeah, when the ships are down, you are not the first person to cry foul. No, you don't.
You know?
And which is what it happened. And you translate what you do to other players. There are 18-year-old in that team. There are 20, 21-year-old.
Yes. Even 24-year-olds are not
A
experienced.
39-year-old, who is the greatest of all Portuguese players, who is the icon, like you did mention, is the inspiration to a lot of those boys there. And
so
then,
I'm telling you,
No.
Look, there are times, let me tell you something here. Let me tell you. Just like a father, let's bring it back home. Just like a father, that he went to work or that they fired him, and he went back home and he looks at his child. You cannot project fear to your child. You cannot say, oh, because you're not start crying in front of your child. Why? You know what that will do to the psyche of your child. I know there are times when many things were happening, but you see, my father would never, and I would never project such to a child, to my child or any child whatsoever. Then don't worry, it's okay. I can go back in my room and tear my head, scatter it. But once I'm in front of that person, because I am leading. So I'm saying that, look at it. If you are in front of those people, what do you expect the whole team to do?
Those will respect you.
15 minutes. We have played 110 or so, 100 minutes.
115.
People are tired. As at that time, you need every bit of energy you can give, every bit of motivation. You don't need to be seeing tears that time.
No.
the truth
And
is,
that is why that is why the conversation has stepped up that is Ronaldo a hindrance to Portugal with such an attitude? Yes.
You shouldn't be playing as much as...
With such an attitude, yes. I mean, look at. There's a way the team sets up to play when Ronaldo is there. They are very, very defensive. They play on. They are not proactive.
They know their money.
So you understand? They are playing to cover up. I mean, look at a Bernardo Silva. You have a Palpolina. You have a
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. You have a João
Leao.
Neves. You have a Leao. You have a Jota. That team should be obliterating teams.
See, I will not... I like the Portuguese.
we said this
a lot.
off
The
air.
talents are there.
If you're talking about squad, the best team in these Euros is Portugal. Every position
Is a star.
They have good. No, they have great players. Every position.
And
That's why I fought Roberto Martinez. First time when he played the first game, I was playing Nuno Mendes as a defensive, as a defender, one of the 3 centre backs.
Of course not.
Because you cannot. One of the most attacking and the
Left
best
back.
left back in modern game. You have Cancelo, Diogo Dalot in the middle, the pack up in front. But then this is a team that played 2 consecutive 120 minutes of football, 240 minutes, and they couldn't score a goal.
You know what? The comments are so much. You have over 30, over 40 comments already. Let me just take a few. Dada says, Oyibo people don't think like us. Beyond being the leader of the team, Ronaldo is a human being, so I see no issue with him crying.
We don't be human being too.
Roy Keane, black man. Dada.
I think that doesn't just understand what this is.
He said, guys, Ronaldo followed his instinct, then he's emotional and he's human. Kindly accept it that way. Okay. Yeah. Ronaldo crying because all eyes and younger footballers are looking up to him. Anyone can miss a penalty at Deni from Aboru. Okay. Says, good morning, I'm Godsfar from Ojodu. CR7 cried because they needed the penalty to win the match, but he lost it. The match had not ended.
It should remain 15 minutes.
So that's why he cried. Those criticizing CR7 are his haters. They should let him breathe. No.
That's a CR7.
No. God's power. You see, and that's the same thing I've talked about. I will bring up the matter of our group hearts here. I will call names. You see, that somebody disagrees with your point doesn't make the person a proponent of that particular person. You have to understand that a lot of us don't think of football if it's not Chelsea. It's not Chelsea is the best club in England. No, they are not the best club in England. They have never been. They will probably be if they do the right things. Okay, maybe they've been. They've won Champions League, yes. I'm just trying to tell you that somebody criticizes Ronaldo doesn't make the person a hater. Okay, if you ask me my own personal, my greatest of all time is neither Messi nor Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
None of them. Yes, I don't think any of them come close to being the greatest player of all time. And because I personally feel that football has a major bias towards attacking players. That's a discussion for another day. That I can even present that discussion to even what's his name? To even the FIFA president. How can you prove to me that Messi is a better player than Nesta? Or Messi was a better player or is a better player than Ronald Koeman? If there are no identified parameters to prove, then you cannot say that one person
this is a very big
is a greatest of all
then,
time.
I think we
rate them by
should
position.
by a hand. I think that's
you can easily say the greatest striker of all time. Why? You look at conversion rate, look at goals. But let's leave that discussion. My point now that you are talking about CR7 doesn't mean there are people that love him and they could be angry with you. They know they beat you. Your papa, they hate you. They know they beat you if you mess up. That somebody messed up doesn't mean, and you criticize, doesn't mean that you hate the person. In fact, a number of people are his lovers that are disappointed in him. Look at Alan Shearer. Look at some of the big footballers. They came up and said, look, man, no, you cannot be doing this, man. There are a lot of people looking up to you. You had 15 more minutes to play.
Cristiano made it all about himself. And that's the fact.
He wanted,
let me tell you,
he's a man that says, record follow me, record no follow me.
I mean, let's not even go into all of that. You know, it's not even about all of that. You have to understand that, look, no matter what happens as it stands, you are football. A lot of times, why is Jose Mourinho a very good coach? A lot of times, and especially when you're playing extra time, the instructions are out of your head. You are too tired. But the only thing that can carry you there, na ginger, na motivation. You understand? So as at that particular point in time, you cannot do that, right? They went up against France. France are in the semi-final.
They've not scored an open play.
They've not scored a goal in open play. Is this the worst we've ever seen? France are not. They're not people that score so much.
They've scored 3
but
goals.
I was watching that match yesterday. You see some of the highlights now. Look, if you look at the best in that 22 on the pitch, at least 10 of them are in the top echelons of football. You had world-class players there on the pitch. Yeah. But France-Portugal was one of the worst quarterfinals ever in Euro history. I'm telling you, this is one thing. A lot of pundits have put it down. They
didn't score goals, yeah, but at least chance creation was They didn't score goals. I think the goalkeepers just had a better game than.
It's not true. I know.
As at the time we were going to the extra time, they've had two side combined had 28 shots and only I think 7 or 8 on target. That shows how poor.
They were in front of goal.
Very poor.
So, but it's. Yes, we can try to understand Kylian because he's got injury
and all of that.
which obviously he showed yesterday.
But look at Colomwani. That one should not. Colomwani, the same thing that happened.
Colomwani had a good game up until that time. Yeah. And sometimes there are players you can point out to.
The ball is not. I mean, Colomwani didn't have any.
Just even in Portugal, you can point out to a Palinha, you can point out to a Vitinha. But all the guys in that center forward, from Bernardo to Bruno to Rafael Leao to Cristiano himself, they did so badly. Same thing also on the other side. Maybe for Theo Hernandez, maybe for Kante didn't have a good game. A lot of people might say, hey, but he didn't have a good game. And then Kamavinga also had 1 or 2 points. But then
Chouameni was very, very poor. I see no reason why you take a ball.
I don't
understand.
France versus Portugal. I'm thinking of a classic. Look, this is after Germany, Spain. I could not sit down.
Nah, man,
I was hungry. I was rushing for food. I was watching. That was
end-to-end game.
Exquisite. Look, I don't like watching Spain. And it's the same reason why I don't like watching Barcelona.
Maybe the old Spain. This De La Fuente Spain is totally different.
And the reason why, so I came in with that mentality, and then I saw their first 2 games. Because why? Too much dominance. But I knew Germany, Spain. I don't know why the draws were like this. That is the final. I don't think there'll be a match that'll beat that match with what I'm seeing from the remaining teams. These guys gave us 120 minutes of pulsating football.
I think Germany will go front. You think that these guys want to score, they want to do something. Before Spain are doing like me. There was no minute without an attack.
Look at when Florian Wirtz came in. Look at Musiala. Look at Ram. Ram will go back and defend. And the next minute, he's in Spain box. In fact, at one particular point, the commentator shouted and said, was it not Ram that took this ball off? Ram was there.
The same thing you can say of Cucurella on the other side.
I've never seen Cucurella perform as
Cucurella for Chelsea. Is it the same Cucurella?
The one that Saka will turn in and out?
Is it Chelsea fans? Let me ask you. Is it Chelsea that is killing this Cucurella?
No, there is a course.
Cucurella will be seen at this Euro. Nah, it's not the same Cucurella.
It's similar. See, the Cucurella I saw at Brighton, that I saw I'm seeing at Spain right now. I'm like, these guys are balling in their national team. In Chelsea, there's something wrong with most of them. Let's just leave Chelsea. For me, Spanish football yesterday was very wonderful. See Mikel Merino. Would you have expected somebody that is not playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid starting in that Spanish team? But it's a combination of, okay, everybody coming, regardless of whatever club you are playing. Fuentes, for me, is the best coach for this tournament so far.
Of course.
They've not lost 5 games, 1 out of 5.
A lot of things we can talk about Yoel Guzman, we can talk about Luis De La Fuente, but there's progression. For De La Fuente, he's won the under-19 and under-21.
Even with
these guys. Pedri, the Gavi, he knows some of these young boys. And then it's Alvaro Morata back in the days. In fact, Dani Cavalla had played under him also in the youth team.
See that Mikel Merino won under-19 and under-21 with him. So if he wins this one now, it's finished.
26 players that have been brought into this tournament. He has played 25 of them. In fact, as I did 3 games, he had played 25 players. That means he trusts every single player that he brought into the tournament. There's no mistake in there.
You can't tell me. If for Yamal. That guy cannot be 16.
No. Somebody needs to find out whatever it is with that boy.
They need to find out.
That boy.
Because he's 16, I beg. He's 17 very soon.
Mike, I checked his start today. I checked, he beat 17 in a couple of days.
Where did Nico come from? It's not like we don't know that Nico is there. But his elder brother has always been the star. But we just saw Nico and this.
No, Nico came about 2 seasons ago.
No, I know. What I'm saying is that at the level we've seen him at this Euro is his best we've ever seen.
Nico
Williams.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
He's the best.
Nico Williams brought you from
the match against Italy.
Yeah?
The match against Italy was, gosh, it was as if it was only Nico Williams playing in that game.
Pace, he has this pace, he has this foot, okay, trickery. There's something when some people dribble very slow and they'll still get all those David Silva, but him, something like a snake bite, you don't go. You will not see him. He's split-footed.
If I tell you it starts right now, that you'll be surprised. Lamine Yamal is the top assist maker. Yes,
3.
With being a 16-year-old. But I also tell you that he has the most tackles of every Spanish player in this tournament.
That's
0.8.
Let me let you ponder
per game. When I saw that, I was, ow.